Hi there, this is Gabriel from Gabriel's Guitars. Just wanted to take a few moments to talk about some really common issues that we see at this time of year when it's nice and cold outside. It's dry some days, it's very wet other days. It's crazy weather that we get at this time of year, and it's even crazier when it comes to taking care of your guitar. This is the most common time of year that we see things like cracks develop in acoustic instruments. It's the most common time of year that we see wild fluctuations in the action and the way that the neck bows on a guitar. So it's very important to take a look at your instruments, play them all at this time of year, because chances are it has adjusted in the last couple of weeks. And you might want to get a setup done, you might need to get some crack repair done, you might need to get other small repairs done. So let's take a look at an example of an instrument that's going through a lot right now. This is a pretty extreme case, and I wanted to kind of show you both some of the things that can happen to a guitar at this time of year, as well as something that can help you along as well. This is a really nice instrument. It's a 1963, I believe, and this is a Guild F20. I believe it's a 1963. That's what the customer had informed me of initially, and want to go ahead and take it out of its case first so you can kind of see what it looks like. Obviously this guitar has weathered the years. It does have some cracks and things like that that have developed. We haven't had a chance just yet to do any repairs on it, but take a look at that gnarly crack right there. This is something that that happens, very common, happens in Martins, older Martins especially. It's literally called the Martin pick guard crack. It's that synonymous with those types of instruments. Because of that, because of the drying and the cooling, the relative humidity in the area is very, very low, and wood does respond to that. Wood is organic, it expands, it contracts, and if it does it enough, or it does it to an extreme amount enough, this is what happens. We'll also see things like this, where obviously the paint is coming off a bit here, but you can see that this the back is coming off and the sides are separating a little bit here. These are things that happen when the wood contracts and expands and contracts and expands because it's absorbing water and then it's releasing water. So it's very important to keep an eye out for these things. Something that's a little bit more extreme that has happened with this one, maybe a little hard to get on camera, but the neck itself has expanded and shrunk so many times that it is actually separated from the body. And that's a pretty serious repair. You definitely don't want it to get to that point. And so that's why I wanted to briefly talk about something you can do. The key thing to do, the most important thing you can do, excuse me, is keep your instrument, excuse me, in its case. The case is built not only as a protective barrier from hard things falling on your guitar, but it's also a seal against the environment outside. That includes weather, that includes things like humidity. So if you keep it at constant humidity inside the case, the guitar is going to feel this is its home. And that's what you should have for your guitar. It should basically stay in its case when it's not in use. Now there are all kinds of fancy humidifiers that you can buy. Some are very cheap, some are very expensive. Most of them are more than people are willing to pay, and they ask me all the time, like, is it really worth it? Do they really work? Do you really use them? The answer is yes. They do work, they do help. And in fact, what I'm doing right now to fix this crack is I'm actually going to be humidifying this guitar up for a period of several weeks in order to get that crack to close up a little bit. But people also ask, like, do I really need to buy one of those like expensive ones to make it? They have ones that have their own special fluids and all that stuff. No, you don't have to do that. What you do need, though, at very least, is a plastic bag and a new unused kitchen sponge and some either distilled or reverse osmosis water, something like that, something that's not going to grow bacteria. And what you want to do basically is saturate the sponge and then wring it out completely. And what I do then is I just leave this bag open and I place it in here with the guitar, inside the side of the guitar, making sure that no water or anything like that actually is dripping. If there is actually water dripping, you've got a problem. That's too much water. But you're just trying to kind of get the air humid in there. That's the whole goal. And if you do that, if you keep your guitar into those kind of conditions, it will be very happy and will last you a lifetime. So I hope that gives you a little bit of information about maintaining your guitar and maintaining your instrument, especially at this time of year, this peak winter season. And if there is anything going on with your guitar, make sure you have your luthier check it out. Make sure you bring it to your guitar rep, to your guitar repairman. Make sure that you get those things fixed quickly, because it's easy for a small repair that's simple to fix and not expensive to fix to turn into something much bigger, especially at this time of year. I hope that's helpful. Have a wonderful rest of your winter here.